Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, in this video, we are learning about types of sentences. There are 4 types of sentences. The first is simple sentence, the second is compound sentence, the third is complex sentence, and the last is compound complex sentence. Before learning more about types of sentences, let's talk about a clause. A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. There are 2 kinds of clause. The first is independent clause, the second is dependent clause. An independent clause is a clause that contains a subject and a verb, and it expresses a complete thought. For example, we finished our homework. And then dependent clause is a clause that begins with subordinating conjunction and doesn't express a complete thought. It means that a dependent clause cannot stand alone by itself. It must be joined to independent clause. For example, after we finished our homework, the sentence began with subordinating conjunction after, and the meaning of this sentence is still incomplete, so it needs independent clause. The complete sentence is, after we finished our homework, we watched TV for a while. In this sentence, the dependent clause after we finished our homework is followed by an independent clause. We watched TV for a while, so the meaning of the sentence is understandable. Now, we are talking about the first type of sentence, that is simple sentence. A simple sentence is one independent clause. For examples, my younger sister speaks English well. In this sentence, my younger sister as the subject, speaks as the verb. The second examples, my brother and I are completely different. In this sentence, my brother and I as the subject or as the verb. The third, they laughed and cried at the same time. In this sentence, they as the subject laugh and cry as the verb. The sentences have one pair subject and verb, so we call them as simple sentences. The second type of sentence is a compound sentence. A compound sentence is 2 independent clauses joined together. There are 3 ways to join the clauses. The first with a coordinators. For example, grammar is easy, so I learned it quickly. The second one by using conjunctive adverb. For example, grammar is easy, therefore I learned it quickly. The third one by using a semitone. For example, grammar is easy, I learned it quickly. Let's look at the details of compound sentences. The first one is compound sentences with coordinators. For examples, my family goes camping every summer, and we usually have fun. The sentence has 2 independent clauses. The first independent clause is, my family goes camping every summer. The second independent clause is, usually have fun. Thus, 2 independent clauses are connected by a coordinator and. Some other coordinators or coordinating conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, or we can remember them easily by saying fanboys. For the function in a compound sentence with a coordinators, we should put a comma after the first independent clause. Other examples of compound sentences by using coordinators are, last year, we've camping at Blue Lake, but we had a terrible time. We should go earlier. Or, we will not catch the train. She wants to buy a house soon, so she needs to save more money. The second, compound sentences with conjunctive adverbs. For example, the student must take a final exam, otherwise, they will receive a grade of incomplete. The sentence has 2 independent clauses. The first independent clause is, the students must take a final exam. The second independent clause is, they will receive a grade of incomplete. Those 2 independent clauses are connected by a conjunctive adverb otherwise. Some other conjunctive adverb are also, besides, furthermore, in addition, moreover, however, for the least, not at least, on other hand, in contrast, otherwise, accordingly, consequently, as a result, therefore, hence. This the punctuation that we should use in a compound sentence with a conjunctive adverb is: we should put semicolon before and a comma after the conjunctive adverb.
Some other example of component sentence by using conjunctive adverb are: tennis is very fun sport, therefore I play it every weekend. It has been raining for a week, not less. We are going to Terry to go camping this weekend. The third one, component sentence with semicolon. A compound sentence with a semicolon is possible when the two independent clauses are closely related in meaning. For example, one is the first external European country to turn away from communism. Other sound followed. This sentence has two independent clauses. The first one, Poland was the first Eastern European country to turn away from communism. The second independent clause is other sound followed. These two independent clauses are joined by a semicolon. Other example of component sentence with semicolon are: smoking is bad for you. It can damage your lungs. Tropical islands are great place to live. They have beautiful beaches. The third type of sentence is complex sentence. A complex sentence has one independent clause and one or more independent clauses. For example, I enjoy traveling because I like to learn about new cultures. This sentence has two clauses. The first is I enjoy traveling as independent clause. The second, because I like to learning about new cultures, as dependent clause. The dependent clause begins with subordinator because. The dependent clause can be in the beginning of the sentence. For examples, because I like to learning about new cultures, I enjoy traveling. For the punctuation, we should put a comma after the dependent clause when the dependent clause comes before an independent clause. When we make a complex sentence, we should the subordinators or after, although, as, just, as if, as soon as, because, before, even, though, have, if, since, so that, through, else, until, what, when, whenever, where, wherever, whether, which, will, who, won't, and was. Some other examples of complex sentence are: as soon as the class ended, the student left the room. A citizen can vote in the United States when he or she is 18 years old. We cannot leave the room until everyone finishes the test. Although we missed the beginning of the movie, we still enjoyed it a lot. The last type of sentence is a compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence has two independent clauses and one or more dependent clause. For example, I wanted to travel after I graduated from college, but I had to go to work immediately. This sentence consists of three clauses. The first is independent clause. I wanted to travel, followed by a dependent clause after I graduated from college, with subordinating conjunction after, and followed by the second independent clause. I had to go to work immediately, with coordinating conjunction but. Some examples of compound complex sentence are: I wanted to travel after I graduated from college, but I had to go to work immediately because I had to support my family. Because grammar is easy, I learned it quickly, but it took me several years to master reading. After the storm passed, I went outside and I picked flowers.
Okay guys, maybe that's all we can say. Thanks for your attention and sorry for all my mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.